Today, we present to you one of the children's stories, which is the story of the apple tree and the farmer. This story tells us that once upon a time there lived a farmer in a village next to a forest, and he had a large garden in which there was an old apple tree and other beautiful plants, trees, and flowers. When the farmer was just a young boy, he spent a lot of his time playing under the apple tree. This is amazing. In those old days when he was a young boy, the apple tree used to give him lots of delicious apples. But as time passed, the apple tree became old and stopped giving him apples like it used to. When our old farmer friend did not get any apples from the apple tree, he decided that the tree had become useless, so he decided to cut down the tree and use its wood to make some new furniture. He thought that it had become an old and huge tree, and there was no treatment for it, and all he thought about was that it would be made, only large furniture. And he forgot that while he was a boy, he spent his childhood climbing on this giant tree and eating its apples. After all these years, the apple tree became home to many small animals in the neighborhood, which included squirrels, birds, and a large group of birds and insects. When the farmer started putting the axe on the tree and started chopping it down, all the small animals came running. They all began to demonstrate against the farmer and what he was doing to this poor tree, saying to him, "Please, farmer, do not cut down this tree. We all used to play with you when you were young, in the embrace of this very tree, and this tree is our home, and we have no other place to go." The farmer stopped cutting down the tree and started looking at the animals. Then the squirrel came to him and said to him, "Please do not destroy my house, as I have no place to go for me and my children." And he began to cry a lot. Even the small birds also cried, saying, "Please do not cut down and destroy my nest, which I love. I built it over the years." But the farmer was not affected by the crying of the animals, his childhood friends, and continued chopping down the tree. All the little animals became miserable, and they wanted to protect the apple tree at all costs. So they thought and decided to say to the farmer, "Farmer, we will sing to you when you are toiling away in the fields, just as we used to do when you were a little boy. We will never make you sad, we will always make you happy, and you will never feel anything." He gets tired one day. Despite all their requests and offers to the farmer continued to cut down the tree, and suddenly he noticed something shiny inside the tree. And when he inspected that thing, he realized that it was a beehive and completely filled with honey. And he began to taste the honey. And when he put it in his mouth, he woke up. Childhood memories are inside him, and he remembers the taste of honey when he was a young child, and suddenly, his childhood memories came before his eyes like a ribbon. Tasting honey spread a feeling of happiness in his heart. This feeling changed the farmer's attitude, and he started talking a little to the animals. And then the bees started telling him, "If you keep this tree, we will always provide you with sweet honey." And the squirrel said, "And I will share with you any amount of nuts you want." The birds cried, saying, "And we will sing you as many songs as you want." Finally, the farmer realized his foolishness, put down the axe, and began to understand that the tree was home to many beautiful animals that had provided him with many things over the years. And the farmer realized that even though the apple tree was no longer fruitful, it had been a blessing to him when he was a little boy. He threw the axe away and said to the little creatures, "I promise that I will not cut down this tree. I have realized my mistake, and you can all now live in peace and harmony." Here, this story shows us how important morals are, and that every living thing in nature should not be destroyed.